So it is Wednesday with Collab the Earth and boom. So this week's theme, as you've probably seen with James and with Sam, is that we need to talk about our favourite video games. Now, I have a lot of video games to choose from, but as you can see, I've chosen The Legend of Zelda. I could have spoken about Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, but no, Zelda is my all-time favourite video game. That and Tomb Raider, because it was one of the first video games I ever played. So yes, Legend of Zelda. So much. Yes, I have a lot to do with Zelda. My ears are falling off. I bought these especially to do a Zelda cosplay, and that will be happening in October soon, so you guys will be able to see my cosplay Zelda Link costume. And I was going to go as Zelda, but I decided to go as a female version of Link, and I'm going to hold a sign saying when people started calling me Zelda, weird things started happening. It was in 1987 that the first Zelda game came out, which was simply titled The Legend of Zelda. It then continued to be The Adventure of Link, and then it slowly went back into the whole Legend of Zelda style, and it just grew from there. It was a 2D platform game, and it was created by Shigeru Miyamoto, or Miyamoto Shigeru, however you want to pronounce his name. And that man, if I could ever meet him, I would thank him so much for all the great games he's created. So Donkey Kong, Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, F-Zero, Pikmin, the list is huge what this guy's created, and it's my childhood. So back in like 2000, 1991 maybe, I was in a toy store and my parents basically picked up what was an N64. So this was quite exciting for me, like this new magical console. And basically when we got to the desk they were like, so what kind of game do you want? And at this point I was just kind of listening to my parents, and we got given loads of games with our N64, which included Kirby, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Racer, and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Now I really regret not really getting into Ocarina of Time at that age, because I was more into Donkey Kong Racers, and eventually our N64 broke. But then back when 8-year-old Emily was in her little primary school, she made a friend called Mark. Now Mark is this awesome guy who I'm still in contact with. We used to be in the same psychology class together. Not at the age of 8, as in last year. Basically, I went round his house one time because we became really good friends, and he had an N64 and he got me back into Ocarina of Time. So there I am playing Ocarina of Time when suddenly Wind Waker came out! So I must have been about 9 or 10 when Wind Waker came out, and it was the biggest thing to ever happen to my mind. My mind was blown when I played this game. I'd never even witnessed a GameCube before because I was always the whole PlayStation and Xbox type. So when I played Wind Waker, I really fell in love with Legend of Zelda. Like, people normally say like, oh, I fell in love with Ocarina of Time, but Wind Waker really set it for me. And then it continued from there. I basically was hooked. I played Majora's Mask and completed it at the age of 11, which I thought was quite a good achievement, seeing as it was a really hard and scary game. And then eventually I just got an emulator, got all the games myself, and then carried on from there. I ended up completing all the games up to this date now. I haven't completed Hero Mode on Skyward Sword because I haven't had time because of college. So here's some little facts that you may or may not know about Zelda, which I discovered from just looking at different websites and actually looking into things. 1. If those of you have played Ocarina of Time, you may know that really annoying owl who always stops you and gives you advice. His name is Gapura, which is also the name of a king from Legend of Zelda, from the original Legend of Zelda. So yeah, he was one of the main characters, and that name also comes up along the whole timeline, and basically, yeah, he was the most iconic character called Gapura, and it is actually Hylian for Wise Owl. There you go. Also, in Majora's Mask, if you guys didn't notice, I think they also have it in Ocarina of Time, but when you go to the mask shop or the mask seller, if you actually look at some of the masks, they all have reference to other Nintendo games, i.e. Star Fox, Mario, all that kind of stuff. When you look at them, the faces of the masks are really similar. And if you haven't noticed, the Keaton mask is actually referenced to Star Fox, as it makes you go faster and all that kind of stuff, so it's quite cool. And for those of you who don't know or haven't heard about this, Skyward Sword theoretically is the first Zelda game. Like, before any of the others, it comes first in the timeline of Zelda. So when you play it, all comes like, you'll understand it and stuff. And I think that's really cool, and I love how everything can kind of split off in different timelines as to what happens. So now basically what Nintendo are going to be doing is filling in the gaps of the timeline before carrying on, which is really cool and exciting. So this has basically just been a chance for me to yeah, just kind of fan over Legend of Zelda. So I'm gonna go out now, I'm gonna go save the world, go get some rupees. So me and my Pona are gonna go riding now to the distance of Hyrule. Gonna go Hyrule Castle and get me some rupees. Not roofies, that would be bad. I'll see you guys later.